To my knowledge. Do a lot of people not know if they're robots?
Thank you for your confirmation. Please move through.
What if I was a robot and I didn't know it?
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. So excited to have you here. Excited to put out more content this month. My goodness, this is 3 videos. Obviously, I'm playing a little bit of catch up from all the suits that SimCosplay has been sending me. You know, between all the move and everything else has been really insane. On a quick side note, do go watch my Mandalorian cosplay review. I am doing a giveaway off of that video. Once my channel reaches 500 subscribers, I will be giving away that very suit. So if you're interested, check it out. It's really fun. I wish I would have fit into it, but it's a phenomenal cosplay, and I'm really excited to give it away. This is the first time I'm doing something like this, so I really hope you guys enjoy it, and tell me what else you'd like to see. I'm always interested to know what you want to see, and of course I've gotten a lot of great comments about some other things, so I am looking into those. I do not ignore those. Obviously what you want to see is what I want to do, so can't wait to share more with that. So today, as you might have noticed at the beginning of the video, I have a new treat from the MCU, Loki. And I chose the Ragnarok costume just because it's more detailed. SimCosplay had a number of things, this suit with the vote for Loki, but I didn't really feel like that was going to capture the essence of the character as well as be as detailed when you could really just kind of buy those things on the side and really do something like that. So they're cool, and I think it's amazing that Sim has done them, but I wanted to have that look and that feel. Now, I've also done a Thor the Dark World cosplay months ago, which was extremely detailed, wonderful cosplay. Definitely one of my top favorites, and that's partially because Thor is a favorite out of the MCU, but super cool. Check that one out too. But today we get to do his brother. So let's take a look here. I've been aching to do this one for a little bit, and of course, just last night, the new Loki episode 4 debuted, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to get this done because A, I'm excited, and B, who needs sleep? Because this is more important. So, yeah, it's almost midnight as I'm shooting this, actually, but who cares because it's super fun. And huge shout out to my amazing wife who is actually staying up so I can get this done. So, she's amazing, and I'm grateful. Okay. Oh, I'm liking the look of this already. So, here's what we got. As you can see, it's got some of the gold over the shoulder. Lots of pieces here. This is, again, I like the detail because the more, sometimes less is more, but in this case, it's Loki. It's the god of mischief. It's a son of Odin, son of Laufey. Like, it's awesome. So this is what it's going to look like. Of course, I couldn't resist the cape either, right? Who can resist the cloak, the cape, whatever you want to call it? It's just too cool, and I've always admired Loki's outfits. I always thought they were quite amazing, and it was always something I wanted to get around to, and this show is just kind of giving me an excuse to do that. So really super stoked. Let's take a look. What do we have first? Oh, they actually put these in legitimate Ziploc bags. How about that? That's a first. Oh, lost something. Okay, these are forearm gauntlets. That's what I thought. I just want to make absolutely certain. Again, lots of pieces, lots of moving stuff here. And then we have kind of the over the forearm. This goes over the hands, kind of like a glove. But as you can see, this is going to run over like so. And of course, that kind of that additional protection. I always thought that was kind of cool. Like, he did really take the armor kind of seriously. Like, the god of mischief was not exactly a fighter, though he later did turn into one. I thought this was kind of neat because this is, again, there's all this protection, all this, you know, Loki is designed to be shrouded in mystery, so the kind of less they see him, the more mysterious he is. So I think that's pretty cool. So that's what we have. We have that, the glove here, and then we have this over the forearm that kind of will overlay the gloves a little bit and kind of rest on the forearm just like this. So again, lots of coverage. Super awesome. Ignore the one I dropped on the floor just now. Let's get rid of that. Oh, the boots. Let's see the boots. Oh my goodness. So these inevitably are a struggle one way or the other. I think I've landed 2 suits that have fit me very nicely. If you watched the recent Winter Soldier cosplay video, I believe I mentioned that the toes were very narrow, and the opening where the boots usually just zip up was very, very wide. And as I mentioned before, I love my stuff more snug. I like it to be comfort fitted. Some people don't prefer that. So if that's your thing, I highly recommend those boots. But otherwise, the toes are still a little narrow. All right, so we have some shin guards with it. So let's kind of take a look at this real fast. I'm always curious. So, looks like they're big fans of the zip, and so am I, because again, it gives the authentic look of the front, just straight armor, and then it's so much easier to put on. I've had several other cosplays where you had to have the lace-ups or maybe the Velcro, and it's a lot of work, and it comes undone, and sometimes there's some babysitting involved, so I much prefer this. Now this rides pretty high up the calf, maybe almost to the back of the knee. We'll see how much space is there. It doesn't look like a whole lot. And especially once we add in the shin guards over the front, kind of like a gauntlet here to run over the boots. So if nothing else, this also zips, so this provide a little bit more of the hopefully cushion feeling that I like, the snug fit. So this should be pretty cool. I'm liking what I'm seeing here. Looks like they did not go cheap on the quality. This is good. This is thick, but whenever this stuff is thick, that also means that you're probably going to sweat in it. So be prepared for that. I recently attended Valley Mini Con, which was sponsored by Arctic Comic Con of Alaska out in Wasilla, which we call the Valley. They sponsored a little event out at Everett's. It's a cool little well-known pizza place out next to this humongous lake. It's a gorgeous spot. And actually I'm going to be doing some work with the owner, Lou, of Aegis Comics. Super neat guy. One of my best friends, buys off him all the time. Super neat dude. He's going to be holding more cons, so hopefully there'll be more opportunity for me to get out in front of you guys and be able to share this amazing stuff that I get to do. I'm really grateful that SimCosplay has been able to sponsor and work with me because, there's not a lot of companies out there that are willing to do that nowadays. A lot of them want to protect their name, and I understand that. But it's really cool when they want to be serious about having true reviews of their stuff. And, I hope that you guys feel that the things that I say are true. I obviously don't dog every single cosplay. They do a good job, but there are things that I don't care for, and I've mentioned some of those things before. And I just think that's important to realize that you're always going to get a fair review from me. If I don't like something, I'm going to say so, and if I love it, you're going to know it. So it looks like they also gave us a little bit of foot padding in there, so that's kind of nice. I wonder how stiff it is on the inside of the boot. It just makes you wonder. I've never gotten this before. Okay, so it looks like we kind of have an over front vest. So as you've seen before, it has the classic kind of underline and a lot of the other Loki costumes. And if you have been watching the show, I won't spoil it for you, but when you look at some of the variants, that's pretty cool because all of them maintain a certain level of that look, no matter what the design of their suits are. So that's pretty neat. So this is actually decently heavy. It's got some of the continued pleather over the shoulder. This is actually Velcroed, so that makes it easier. It looks like there's a button here that's going to be able to. This is where you're going to run the cape underneath, no doubt, and button it. Then you're going to draw this over, and it's going to look really fluid once it drops behind you. I'm so excited for the cape. I love capes. You're not a hero without a cape. Even though Loki's not a hero, comment down below if you have something to say about it. I'm sure you will. All right. Okay. The pants. Very reminiscent of the Kylo Ren pants that I have. Check that one out too. That's one of my earlier videos. That's back where I was even doing green screen. So again, just much of the Asgardian look, right? You have a lot of the it's when it comes to Loki, he has this style that he changes his costumes, but there's some things about it that just don't. And it's just kind of this dark tinted green along with the black, and of course a little bit of gold in there. Now I am trying to get a hold of a 3D printed helmet to kind of go along with this cosplay. I'd like to pull the one from Ragnarok, obviously. So if you guys have any suggestions, any of you guys 3D print, hit me up in the comments down below. I would love to see what your work is, and maybe I'll end up buying one off you, but I would love to have that to add to this because I think that's just as important as having Thor's helmet. So let me know down below. I'd love to chat with you about it. You can also hit me up on Facebook on Green Ranger 171 cosplay page. I see that all the time, and you can also hit me up on my Instagram, Green Ranger 1701. So, plenty of places to reach me, or you can just comment down below. Right, so also, same little gold streak here, thicker in some areas. This does not have belt loops, so it's going to be very, very dependent on making sure that it fits your waist. So do make sure you get your measurements in properly. Do not rely on them because our bodies change all the time. I've been even, working on my own weight loss, and that's just one of those things where, I bought a Green Arrow cosplay a couple years ago, dropped 20 pounds, and the next time I put it on, I couldn't keep it up around my waist. Grateful for that, but then I'm like, oh, now I'm also kind of down to cosplay. So, no belt loops, so be sure that you get your measurements in properly. Standard front button, zip down, Again, this type of stuff, this pleather, you tend to sweat. So just be ready for that. Try to wear as minimal as you can underneath. Obviously, you want to do things that are still comfortable. Maybe a t-shirt, boxer shorts, briefs, like whatever you do. Make sure you're doing those types of things. I never recommend commando cosplay, but that's totally up to you. But you will get warm in this sort of thing, especially if you're up moving around. When you have the shin guards, the forearm guards, you're wearing a cape, lots of opportunity to trap in that heat. So do expect that when you get these types of things. The more detail, the hotter it's going to get. All right, so it looks like here's the under piece. Wow, love it. I'll say it over and over and over. Love the attention to detail that SimCosplay provides. They always make sure that they give this real authentic look and feel. This doesn't feel cheap to me. And this is also reminiscent of the Green Arrow cosplay, as well as others, where it's kind of got the satin on the inside. That does help you breathe a little bit. It's also a little bit more comfortable as you move around and you shape and things like that. But usually these zippers are very, very reliable, very, very strong. Anytime that I've even had to tug them on a little bit, I've never had to worry about saying, are they stressing? Are they going to break? Are they going to come apart? So good job on that as well. Here's the back. Again, just the green and the black tint, right? And we got a little bit stronger of the pleather on the shoulder guards, which makes absolute sense, right? Kind of giving that armor feel while still maintaining an Asgardian type of attire. So you got the ruffles in the arms, much like you do in the legs. So pretty neat stuff. This also looks really thick down here. So you add, again, the gloves and the gauntlets. It's going to get really warm under this thing. So just a big forewarning. I remember when I put on my Thor cosplay, I was like, oh my goodness, I was sweating in 5 minutes. 5 minutes, and it was cold outside. It was February. So if that tells you anything. All right. So you guys already know how excited I am for the cape. This is heavy. This reminds me very, very much of my Kylo Ren cosplay. So, got the satin on the inside. As mentioned, the buttons, so those are just going to clip over the shoulder, and you're going to bring the shoulder guards over and pop them on. It's going to look really nice and fluent. So very, very happy about that. You also got the additional Velcro to make sure it hangs on. Sometimes these things are going to get tugged on, they're going to get moved around, and so you got a little bit of extra give there to make sure that the first little tug isn't just going to pop it off. Dark Knight style. DC reference in a Marvel. All right, and same thing, just a very good heavy pleather. I would say this is 2 or 3 pounds, honestly. The weight of it, and I could be underestimating, but now you take that on top of everything else that you'll be wearing, it's going to be warm. I know I keep emphasizing that, but it's something I think I failed to mention in other videos where things even like my Winter Soldier cosplay that I just did, you have the Under Armour, you have the arm, and then you have the vest, and then it's all very, very tight and it's snug, and that's why I prefer it. So not a whole lot of breathing room there, but you are going to sweat, and that's just kind of the cosplay life. So that is all the pieces we have to review at the moment. So let's get right into this, right? Let's just do it. All right, here we are. This thing is awesome. They definitely nailed it down where it comes to the detail. There are some flaws, some things I don't really care for. We're going to get into that in a second, but this is a 2-person gig. That's one of the things that I'm not particularly a fan of. I like being able to be in a position just to change and go do these types of things. I recently did that at Valley Minicon, excuse me, with my Bucky Winter Soldier cosplay, and that was a little bit easier. But this is super cool nonetheless. So let's just get straight into it. First, where it pertains to the boots. The boots are a standard zip all the way down to the heel. Just step in, zip up, easy peasy. This also makes it really, really easy to zip up the leg because you're not having to worry about trying to tuck that down into a boot. And like I said in the past, lace it or Velcro it or buckle it and different things. So I do like this design, Sim. I really think you should stick to this because it just, at the end of the day, is a whole lot easier and it gets a nice more fluid look when it comes to the boot. Then you have the shin guard. The shin guard is pretty cool. I will say that these zippers are very temperamental. I had to pinch to zip down and sometimes even the side here would bust off if you're not doing it properly. So just keep in mind, I just don't know if it was this particular cosplay or if this is just the way it was done this time around. That's really hard to say because I've never had that problem with zippers before. But on this round, it was very, very difficult. And quite honestly, every time I take in a breath, I feel like that maybe this might come apart. So who knows? And if it does, it'll stay in the video. But where it pertains to the boots, you have the little shin guard here. So it starts just above the heel and it zips all the way up and comes up just behind the back of the knee. So I'm actually kind of thrown off by that because it crumples. Now, you don't have a whole lot of mobility here in the pants. So even when I pull these up a little bit further to, kind of give a little bit more space, this is about as far as I can go without feeling like I'm going to start tearing in the crotch area. So, don't try to do anything too active. Obviously, cosplay is not meant to go run athletics or do any kind of sports in, but it's always good to kind of know where your limits are so you're not damaging your cosplay while you're trying to wear it. And then we have a two-piece for the shirt. So essentially, you've got the zip-up coat, kind of we looked at. It has the shoulder armor. It has all the ruffles, pretty cool. And then you have a pullover vest that actually zips up in the side. So kind of think of Theoden's armor and the Two Towers, I believe it was, and he was kind of getting ready that little montage. You see they kind of pulled over the head and the one arm through and then kind of just buckled and laced it. In this case, you're going to zip it. There's no adjustment for the neck area to get your head through. Now, maybe I have a big head. I don't really know, but I know I have a lot of hair. And so getting my head through is not the most comfortable. So a couple points down on that. I think whenever you do something like this and you're forcing a single direction, trying to get your head through, there's got to be the space to adjust for people with different shapes and sizes. That's so important in this cosplay world. So a couple deductions there. When we look at the arm pieces, so the kind of the hand gauntlet, pretty cool stuff. I like that they were paying attention to kind of the shroud of mystery. I don't really like that this is open. I think that this should have been sewed attached, and of course that's something you could probably do it yourself. Even if you're not too experienced in sewing cosplay, but I don't think there's any reason this should do this. I think that's a little wonky. And then you got the kind of the gauntlets here. This one is, I'll say, also a negative. The crisscross here, it Velcros, which is cool. I'm okay with that. Holds on tight. But this is really loose here, the part where it just sits over on the thinnest part of your arm. Theoretically, in anybody else's arm, the thickest part is up in the upper forearm, and you get down, it gets skinnier as you get closer to the wrist. That's just general physics, general biology. So that's a lot of space. Obviously, you can add your own Velcro and make that more adjustable, cut some off, however you want to do that, which I will be making that adjustment. That's very similar to the gauntlets of the Thor Dark World cosplay, and you can catch my review on that as well. You'll see something very, very similar. The color's cool. These actually bent pretty well. I was kind of concerned they're going to be a little flat, but they're adjusting very, very nicely. So that was awesome. The crisscross is cool again because it gives that realistic Asgardian type armor. So I like that they put the thought and the effort into it. I just wish this had been a little bit shorter because even underneath, even having the sleeve of the coat underneath, it's still very, very loose. So same thing for this side, same thing up and down, crisscross, everything's pretty cool there, no big deal. It does fit pretty snug on the arm, so it's, again, not babysitting. You don't have to worry about it moving a whole lot. Obviously, you're very, very warm. Mobility for me in this shirt, I can get about to here without starting to raise the rest of this. And so not too comfortable there. Again, I know you're not going to be doing a whole lot that's going to be athletic. It's going to be very, you're not looking to be mobile in this type of cosplay. So I highly recommend, if you are planning on being super active, then don't try something like this because you're going to feel like you're going to tear it or damage something. And that's obviously not something you want to do, something there's such a high dollar value, which I believe this one's running somewhere in the 300 range. I apologize for picking it off the top of my head, and I might even just adjust it here if that's the case, if I'm wrong, but I'll probably put the exact price there. So when we think about the cape, now, you know, these are just so cool. They did a great job here. So what happens is the shoulders, as I showed you in the unboxing, the Velcro comes up and there's a button spot, and there, you know, it's just on each side of the cape here. You just button it in and bring the Velcro back down. Something that I did not realize, and that actually my wife pointed out when she helped me put this on, is that the Velcro still remains on the other side just in case you don't want to wear the cape. So if you want to be a little bit lighter, if you want to be able to be a little bit more mobile and not worry about someone stepping on your cape, that's going to be fine, because it's still not going to look like anything is missing if you don't use it. The buttons are hitting underneath the shoulder pad, and it still Velcros down to the back of the actual vest. So I think that's pretty neat, because that, again, if you don't want to be too hot, if you want to take a little bit of a load off, that's your option. So you can flex this one or two ways. You don't usually get that sort of an option here. Usually if you don't use a piece, then it's obvious that something is missing. But obviously I like it. I love the cape. So overall, I would give this cosplay probably an 8 out of 10. Any deductions are just because of the zippers and maybe a bit of the no belt loops, you know, and just the adjustment for mobility. Otherwise, this thing looks fantastic. The attention to detail, huge props against SimCosplay. I love that you guys pay much attention to this. Just make sure that when you're doing these types of things, you're leaving a little bit more of a mold for people who are bigger or smaller in different areas, because obviously in the cosplay world, we want to suit everybody. But that is it for my review of the Loki cosplay. This again is from the Thor Ragnarok film. I chose this one today because of the detail, because of the Asgardian look, and me being a fan of it. There are other Loki cosplay available on simcosplay.com. I believe there's 2 more that take place in this current show that's running on Disney+. Again, be sure to check out my Mandalorian cosplay video. There is a giveaway going on that. When my channel reaches 500 subscribers, we will be giving that away. And there will be more giveaways here in the future. I'm still working out the details on that. But I do want to reward you guys for coming to my channel, spending your time here where I know it could be used somewhere else. I know there are content creators way better than me at what they do, especially in cosplay and various other areas. So thank you for your time, for being here. Thank you for coming along. If you're new to the channel, please subscribe, like, share, visit my Facebook page at Green Rangers 1701 Cosplay, visit my Instagram, Green Ranger 1701. Just visit me. I want to connect with you. I want to know what you guys want to see. I want to know what you guys think. Have you guys tried out this cosplay before? If you have, leave a comment below. Tell me about it. Tell me what you think. I'd be happy to share your opinions, maybe even feature some of your photos in future videos. Thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.
Dragon Thor!